Dweezil is a sturdy little boy.
Looking for a heartbeat. Heartbeat. I'm looking for a heartbeat. Heartbeat.
Johnson record was something that was actually really fun to do because the recording session took place in Miami. I'd never been to Miami, and this was way back, I'm gonna guess again around 87 or something. Maybe earlier than that. 86. Okay. So I think that that was kind of a direct result of a little previous history. Don Johnson used to date Pamela DeBar, who was a friend of my mom's, and Pamela was also in the GTOs, which was Girls Together Outrageously, a girl band my dad created back in the 60s. So at that point, when I was very young, 1-2 years old, Don Johnson and Pamela were around our family at that time. And then years later, when Don Johnson was very popular on Miami Vice, he asked my dad to play a drug dealer in an episode of Miami Vice, which he did begrudgingly because he didn't really think of himself as an actor. And one of the things that he had to do was jump off a boat into the ocean, and he hated swimming. So that was something that he didn't really want to do, but did.
Buenos dias, Mr. Fuentes. I wait a long time for this pleasure. Let's get down to business and we'll get the hell out of Dodge.
I once had a trusted employee, a man named Maroto, who was moving some weasel dust for me. He too was in a hurry. After years of faithful service, he hurried away with 3 million of my favorite dollars. Can I offer you something to eat? Some wine?
Let's get to it.
I know Maroto has my money. He disappears for a while, then he pops up, he's arrested, they send him to prison. Now we get to the big surprise. One day, my man Maroto sends for the police officer who arrested him. They talk briefly, and then guess what? Maroto kills himself. You know what I think? I think Maroto told the cop about my money. So I look everywhere for this slimeball cop. His name is Crockett. Then I found something out. Bigger surprise. There's a guy, his name is Burnett, a two-bit player looking to get into the weasel dust industry. I found out that Burnett and Crockett are the same guy. I want my $3 million, Crockett. It's mine. What do you think you're taking? You got nothing on me. $3 million is a lot of money, Crockett.
I don't have your money.
He's right. We can't take him in.
No, but we can throw him in. Time for a swim, pal.
And around that same time, Don was making an album and asked me to play on the album, but he had all these different people play on the record too. So Stevie Ray Vaughan played on the album. I think Bonnie Raitt played on the album, and a bunch of other people played on the album. But when I went to Miami and I played in the studio there, the guy that was the producer engineer was a guy named Chaz Sanford, and he was really quite a good guitar player as well. But the guy who had just recorded the day before was Stevie Ray Vaughan, and his stuff was still in the studio. So his guitar was still there. And I remember picking it up, and the strings were so heavy. Like the high E was a 13 or a 14. And for me, I had 9s on my guitar. So I could barely even bend it a half step. And it was like having telephone cables on your guitar as strings. So that was a cool experience, just to be near his main guitar with the SRV on it and just play a note on it. But the song I actually played on the Don Johnson record is not the song I'm in the video for. So I was in a video for a song called Heartbreak. Right? Is that the name of it? I'm pretty sure it's like
Is it Heartbreak or Heartbeat?
a Heartbeat.
Yeah, Heartbeat. You make an appearance maybe for Heartbeat, but the last sound love makes.
Yeah, so I was in the video for Heartbeat, which has won so many awards for being the worst video ever made. A lot of people just hate that video so much, but there's a live performance aspect of it, and I'm playing the guitar parts that were played by Chaz Sanford. So I learned his rhythm guitar parts and faked my way through the solo for the video. But the actual song where I played is a song called Last Sound Love Makes, and I have a solo in the middle and then like an outro solo, I think. And I remember that I used my green guitar. And I had a Mesa Boogie amp that I used at that time. And that was just a fun experience to be on a session like that and get to do those things. Like I said, play Stevie Ray Vaughan's guitar and come up with these thematic solo ideas that are used in that song, Last Sound Love Makes.
Side note, Stevie Ray Vaughan's guitar, the neck was like a baseball bat. I've heard it was so fat that like people were like on top of the strings.
The neck on Stevie Ray Vaughan's guitar definitely is baseball bat style. It's a little round, a little bit wide, but the actual strings, that was what made it so hard, because if you were at like the second fret and you were going to try to bend a note up on the G string, for me, even with all 3 or all 4 fingers, I wouldn't get that to a full step because it was so heavy. That's like watching when Jimi Hendrix was playing that acoustic 12-string guitar in that one piece of film footage, and he plays with one finger, he bends a full step at that second fret with a 12-string. That's tremendous strength. And Stevie Ray Vaughan had that same kind of thing. I just would never be able to do that. It would rip the skin right off my fingers.
There we go. Sudafed this mojo doodad, and Lord, rebuke this congestion.